we'll kind of talk about some of the other implications that happened in that bill as well. So turn it over to you, Tanya.
Hi, everybody. So yeah, as Alan said, there were some changes. And one of the other changes was that, well, I can take my family, for example. So if have a family like me, there's a family of 5, a husband, a wife, and then 3 kids. My kids are 17, 18, and 19, which means that the previous stimuluses, our family would not have received any stimulus for the 3 kids because they were over the age of 17. However, in this stimulus, they did include, and I should say, over the age of 17 and dependents. So my two older ones go to college, and my third one is still in high school. All right, so there would have been no stimulus at all for them. However, that was changed with this, and it did include students, dependents. I guess the best thing is dependents over the age of 17. They're still our kids, but this time everyone over that age were dependents. If you were within the income limit, did receive it. So that family would receive $6,000, right, for a stimulus for 5. Is that right? Did I do that right? Not quite.
Yeah, 1,400 per person. 14. Yeah.
So here you are sitting with a stimulus that dropped in. It could have been this week. I know quite a few people have contacted me and kind of asked what to do with it or where to put it. So I made it a little bit, just a basic checklist up. And the first thing that Alan and I talked about were credit cards. If you have credit cards and you have this money coming in, it's not from income, pay it off, pay your credit cards off. And if you have more than what you have coming in, pay off your highest interest credit card. And then take that credit card and put it to the side and don't touch it again. All right, that would be the first. Now,
can I just jump in real quick?
Absolutely.
So as you're paying off credit cards, one of the important things is not to cancel that credit card.
That's right.
Like you just said, put it away, don't use it again. Because as you cancel credit cards, it kind of hurts your credit score a little bit by taking available credit line from you. You're decreasing that line. So I just wanted to throw that in. Sorry to.
No, that's perfect. And Alan is exactly right. Don't cut it off. Don't cancel it. Just don't use it. All right. So that's credit cards. Now, if you either don't have credit card debt or you have done that and you have some money left over, the next thing that would be the next best thing to do is to bulk up your emergency savings. You should try to get to the point where you have a good 2 months at least of emergency savings. And that is something in a savings account, again, where if you have your refrigerator quits working, or you need brakes on your car, or any number of items that you weren't prepared for, that's where your savings account, your emergency savings comes into play. And having that cushion makes you feel much more secure, and you feel you just feel like you're headed in the right direction. Alan, you got anything to add to that?
No, that was a good point. I actually was at a client last night and their furnace broke. So I guess some of their money will be used to pay a HVAC guy to come out and take care of that.
So that's great. So then let's say that you don't have a problem with credit cards. You have your emergency savings account that is bulked up to where you're comfortable with it. The next thing that we recommend is to invest either all or part of it. And if you're not sure, if investing is something that you're new to, do find a certified financial planner or a registered investment advisor and talk to them. We, like Alan and myself, we have some really good ideas that we can pass along to you. All right, so that's that one. Now, if you've done some investing, if you've gotten all of those done and you have a little left over, spend locally. That's my big take. Restaurants are opening up. It's starting to get nice in a lot of places. You can eat outside. Go to visit a museum. Depending on where you are, there's certain restrictions, of course, but these are companies, these are institutions that have really been hurt by COVID. So go out and use that money, put that money back into our local, especially our local economies.
Or you could go out and buy a rooster lamp. Let's see if I could point over the right shoulder, because it's
there you go. See?
Certainly go buy a rooster lamp, or go buy some fresh grown eggs, I guess. But I just wanted to touch on one other thing too, is as far as the investing side. people kind of neglect the college savings. I know there's some people that don't, the biggest thing that we come across is parents saying, well, what if my kid or my child doesn't go to college? Well, they probably go to trade school, or you could just hold on to that money for grandchildren. Grandparents love to give the grandchildren that. You could always pass that 529 or that college savings plan down to the next generation. Also, too, one of the things I was thinking of, and I did remember, because I was telling Tanya, I had something on my mind and I could not remember earlier. But the thing I would say is this is where most people don't do is estate planning, is use some of that money to pay an attorney to do a will, healthcare proxy, or power of attorney. Most people don't have those simple documents, at least a will. Use, take a few $100 or whatever it costs for an, depending on what your attorney charges, but take some of that money, go sit down with an attorney, pay for those important documents. So God forbid, if something ever did happen to you or a loved one, your planning is already done.
That is an
I think,
excellent idea.
yeah,
I
I
love
think people get scared because obviously nobody wants to leave. But the scariest part is for the family that's still here, and
Yes.
not having that plan done
Yep.
and taking some of that money to see an attorney. And, to all our attorney friends out there, our referrals, hopefully people are watching this and start making some phone calls. And you could certainly reach out to us if you need some recommendations for people to help you with that. The other thing is, and I've been noticing, is in that bill, there was an exemption for $10,200 for unemployment
That's right.
income. However, there's no guidance out as we're making this video on how that's actually going to work. However, I've noticed a lot of people that I've been talking to, and we do taxes, shameless plug, but people are actually owing a little bit more this year because of unemployment, where they weren't withholding enough to pay taxes, whether it was both federal and state. So certainly plan and use some of that money if you do have a tax liability, because if you don't pay your taxes, you're charged interest and penalty. So hopefully taking some of that money to pay any taxes that you might owe. However, the government just did us a favor last week, or at least the IRS did. I don't want to say the government. The IRS did people a favor last week and extended the deadline to file your taxes by 1 month. So therefore, if you do owe, you got an extra month to come up with that money.
Yep.
So those are just a few things I wanted to add to the conversation here. But certainly, like Tanya said, reach out to us if you have any questions. Anything else you want to add before we depart for today?
No, I think that's it. Everybody go out and enjoy your weekend. Here in Buffalo, it looks like we might get some, relatively nice weather for Saturday and Sunday.
Absolutely. So if you have any topics or concerns or questions and you want us to debate on here, kind of took it away the last few videos we've been doing client situations. But certainly we can continue with that if people like to hear that. But certainly like us on Facebook and YouTube, and leave us any comments or any questions where people have been commenting on some of our videos and asking questions via social media. So certainly continue to do that. And with that, Tanya, have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too, Alan.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye-bye,
everyone.
folks.